What is up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Oh, my body just hurts all over. Last night I trained shoulders and I've not hit shoulders like properly for a good few weeks, and I had a really good session. I really hurt today. Like, I wasn't going to train. I was going to have a rest day today, but I've decided to go and train legs. My least favourite session. So that should be interesting. I'm going to train in literally like 15 minutes, so I'm going to record this super quick because I'm filming with a friend at the gym. I'm going to get some content for y'all. But anyway, I put up one of those ask a question things on my Instagram, because I get like the odd inbox asking all about comp prep and whatever, so I thought I might as well just do a whole video on it and answer any questions that you might have. So I'm going to run through them really quick. First one is, what made you decide to compete, or what made you first want to compete? Why do my lips look non-existent? Need some better lip liner. What made you first want to compete? I have talked about this. Why? I've talked about this in previous videos, but my main reason to first compete was that I came out of a really bad relationship and was just in a really dark place in general. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to get half naked, slap on some tan and get on stage and flex my butt. Yeah, that was my main reason. And then just sort of like my first prep, I was like, I'm never fucking doing this again. I hate my life. And then I got on stage and I was like, oh my god, I want to do this forever. So I think after that first competition, I was just addicted. Like, the feeling of getting on stage after 12 weeks of torture is just like, there's no words for it. It's just incredible. So I just became hooked ever since then. I haven't even numbered these. Why do I make life so difficult for my fucking self? Have you competed before? Well, how many competitions have you done before is a question I get asked. I have competed before. I've done, I thought it was 5, but I actually think I've done 6 shows. So I did Miami Pro first. Wait, Miami Pro Elite. Miami Pro Elite. Yeah, so I've done 6 shows. Fuck my life. I'm kind of a little bit hard on myself, to be honest. I feel like I've done 6 shows and I would want to have done a lot better than I have done within that. And I've only ever come away with 1 trophy out of those whole 6 shows, so I don't know whether I'm a little bit harsh on myself. Like, I see other people enter their first competition and go and win it. The first show that I ever entered, I did not enter that expecting to go and win. I was just purely entering it as a way to get me out of a dark place, and it did. But I look so tanned. Love my life. So yeah, it would be nice to maybe call myself a pro one day. What's the best / worst thing about competing? I'm someone, like, I've always been ultra competitive. I was always on all the sports teams, and then obviously all throughout school and after school I competed with my horses, doing show jumping and things like that. So I guess I'm just like I'm naturally just a very driven person anyway, and a very competitive person, so I love to push myself, and I love like the whole challenge of prep. I love pushing my body to its limits and just seeing what I can achieve within the space of 12 weeks. And I love pushing myself out of my comfort zone, even though it's obviously not very comfortable at the time. I love like the whole growth process of that, and obviously growing as a person when you're pushing yourself through all these different challenges. I don't know what I'm saying right here, but I feel like you might understand what I mean. So yeah, the best thing is obviously the challenge, and then the other best thing is when you're on stage, or when you get off stage, because being on stage is fucking shitting nerve-wracking. Getting off stage and just that feeling of accomplishment. That feeling of accomplishment. And purely, no word of a lie, like the nicest fucking people. When you're backstage, like you just make best friends for life. I've made such amazing friendships through that federation, and like people that I will call lifelong friends, hopefully. Just through competing. Like, I know with a lot of the other federations it can be very bitchy, and that was something that I was worried about before I started competing. Like, what would it be like backstage? Because when you're backstage, like, you're on your own really. You're not really allowed anyone back there with you, unless you know people that are competing as well. So yeah, bitchiness was one thing that I was massively worried about, and there is none of that in Pure Elite. Everyone is just a big happy family. As gay as that sounds, but it's so true. What's the worst thing about competing? Obviously I'd say you have to restrict yourself quite a lot. I think as I'm on my seventh, why can't I speak? I think as I'm on my seventh, how do you say it? Seventh show. My body and my mindset is just sort of used to like the whole dieting process, so I just sort of get on with it now, and I don't feel like I'm being restricted in any way because I'm just used to it. My first show was obviously the most horrific prep I've ever been on, like hands down. I think because I just had no idea like what prep was all about and whatever, and I don't think anyone does until they've actually completed a prep themselves. The first prep was just horrific, and I'd go out of my mind because I wasn't allowed fucking... My coach wouldn't even let me have squash. I was drinking water. I wasn't allowed sauces or anything like that with my foods. I remember he gave me a protein bar the one day, but in my daily diet plan, but I wasn't allowed the whole protein bar. I was only allowed half of it. And like, that prep made me go out of my mind. But anyway, I'm not like that anymore, so I actually quite enjoy prep. Like, I enjoy being in a structured routine, so I don't really find the dieting part that difficult. What I do find is when I'm really, really tired and I've got no energy to train, but I still have to go and train. That is when it's hard, because I will just like, there'll be moments where I'm just sat in the gym like, I can't fucking do this. And there has been moments in the gym where I've been training with Morgan and other people, and I've literally broke down. I think it was on my last prep, I remember crying to Morgan. I was doing lunges on the Smith machine. I was like, oh dear. That's the hardest part, just when your body is so tired and you've still just got to keep pushing through. But obviously it's important to take rest days. I take 2 full rest days a week. That is the other difficult thing, is prep brain. And this is another thing that people won't understand really until you've actually competed. But when you're dieting, you get like this weird prep brain. It's similar to baby brain. And I think, to be honest, I've probably got it permanently because I'm ditzy as fuck anyway. But you just do stupid shit and you forget shit, and I don't know, it's just weird. I know a lot of people would say one of the worst things about competing is missing out on social events, but I don't miss out on social events. No, honey, no. I will still make an appearance and I will still let my hair down. Perhaps not with like a bottle of champagne like I would usually like to, but your girl doesn't need alcohol to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And by that I didn't mean do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs, kids. Right. Oh, this is a brilliant question. What is the worst thing someone could say to you whilst you're dieting or whilst you're on prep? This is such a good question. I try not to take offence, obviously, when I'm dieting, because competing is my choice. I choose to compete, I choose to diet, I choose to put myself in this situation. But there are a few things that people do say and I'm a bit like, hun, I'm dieting. So things like, oh, surely one won't hurt. I can't just have one of whatever the thing you're offering me because I've got my daily macros. Can't just add to that. Yeah, surely one won't hurt. That's a great line. Another thing is around fruit. Like, people think you can just have limitless fruit and veg and it not actually make a difference. Like, FYI, there is actually calories in fruit and veg, especially fruit, because fruit is like nature's sweets, so it's full of sugar. I'm not saying don't eat fruit, because fruit is obviously amazing for you, but when you're dieting, stuff like that, it's important that you're tracking everything. So obviously I can't just go and eat an apple or a punnet of strawberries or something like that, or a watermelon, not like I would on off season. What else do people say? A lot is based around alcohol as well, actually. Like, for example, when I'm at a social event and people would ask why I'm not drinking, and I'm like, oh, I'm competing or whatever. Like, oh, go on, just have one, it won't matter for one night. And I'm like, yeah, but everyone says this every weekend. So that can get a little bit tedious. But to be honest, I have done this in past weeks. If I want a drink at the weekend, I will just class that as part of my cheat meal, and I will track the calories into that day's calorie intake. So if I want a drink, I will have a drink. I know, for example, there is 100 calories in a vodka Diet Coke. So I will just track that drink into my daily intake. Obviously I can't be doing that every weekend, because especially when you're drinking alcohol, it's more the after effects. So I'm a lightweight as it is, let alone when I'm dieting, so a few drinks down and Rachel's a goner and she's written off for the next day. So I try not to drink, and if I'm really craving a drink, then I'll just have a couple, and obviously make sure it's something like vodka Diet Coke, vodka lime and soda, and not like a pina colada. It's being sensible, it's making good choices. That said, do you have children? I was like, do you have a coach? This is something that I don't know whether I mentioned this in the last video, I think I did, but I've definitely mentioned it on my Instagram. This prep I've chosen to coach myself, or I've chosen not to get a coach, purely because the prep diets that I've been put on in the past have absolutely destroyed me. I've been put on some really good diets in the past, but I thought this time round I would give it a go, prep myself, and to be honest, I know that I can get myself into pretty decent shape. So with the help of my good friend Morgan, who you guys have met in previous video, she's helping keep me accountable, and like I run all my ideas past her before like I okay everything within myself. And I'm also checking in with her, so I'll send her like weekly my weekly weigh-ins, and I'll send her check-in photos and videos of me posing and whatnot, so that she can be like, Rach, you need to be doing this, or yeah, you're on track, blah blah blah. So that's that. I'm prepping myself with the help of Morgan. How much cardio do you do, and how many calories are you on? So at the moment my calories are around 1800, and I've not been doing any cardio. However, I've introduced a small bit of cardio this week. So I don't really class this as cardio, but at the start of every weight session or every gym session, I will do a 10-minute incline walk. And then at the end I will do 10-minute sprints on the bikes, which I don't class as hard cardio, I just do it because it's just a little bit of extra. But I wanted to wait as long as possible before I added in cardio because I am someone that will lose muscle very, very quickly if I'm not careful. Purely because I do lead an active lifestyle as it is, so I will probably, like my daily step track is probably at least 15,000 like on a normal day, and that's without going to the gym and stuff, so that's why I didn't want to add cardio. Like, I'm not someone that sits in an office all day. I am on my feet all day from 7 AM till 10 AM, so, and that's why my calories have remained fairly high. They did start at 2,000, I've brought them down a little bit just because we wanted to lose weight a little bit quicker, a little bit sooner, and then we can get to say 4 weeks out and assess where we're at. We'll probably be introducing cardio at like 4 week mark, and we will go from there. But my weight's looking good, my waist is tightening up. 6.5 weeks out now, I'm at a decent point, and I'm happy with how I'm looking, and I'm happy with how it's gone so far. So I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible, without like killing myself too much at this point, because there is still time for that. Yay. How do I stay motivated? This is the last one I'm going to answer. So to me, the big driver is visualising the end goal and visualising myself walking out on stage, going through my routine and busting moves like Beyonce in my bikini, because I fucking love my bikini. Oh my god, it's so nice. I think it's just me to a T. I'm not going to tell you what colour it is or anything, because I've actually worn this one before. So that is the one thing that I'll always keep in my mind. So that is probably my biggest motivator. But I will, like, if I'm at the gym and I'm really struggling during a set, I'll like visualise myself on stage. Oh, yes. And to be honest, the days where I don't feel motivated, it is purely just habit. It's ingrained in my mind and in my body that I'm just gonna get on with it. I think when I'm off season, like, it's fine. I will just be like, yeah, Rach, you can have a rest day today. But being motivated when you're on prep, it's not really motivation, it's just discipline. You've just got to be really, really strict with yourself and just fucking get on with it. Like, grit your teeth and just do the job. And that's how it works, really. Like, I'm not like rah-rah Tony Robbins 24/7. That is not me. If anything, I'm more like, fuck this shit. I'm not, but there are many days where I'm just like, can't get this train. And you just fucking get on with it, don't you? And like spiel out some whole empowering speech, but at the end of the day, it's purely just gritting your teeth and getting on with it and doing it. I find like a practical way of dealing with stuff like this and getting stuff done as well is, imagine it was your job. Imagine you are being employed and you physically have to do this stuff. Like, you'd get fired otherwise. So you wouldn't wake up one day for work and be like, I just really can't be arsed today. I'm just gonna stay at home and not do anything. You just wouldn't do that. Just get dressed and show up and do your job and come home and then repeat. You just get on with it. I know that sounds really fucking dull and boring and hard work, but that's just, it's just a way of getting things done, isn't it, really? So I think, yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Again. Right, I'm gonna wrap this one up because I'm late already and I've got to go and train legs. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope I've answered all of your questions. But obviously feel free to message me or pop a comment down below if you have any other questions. But yeah, I will see you in the next video. Look out for Prep Files 6 on Sunday night. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. I love you. Bye.